We're on our walk. It's in the 70s for the first time in days. This is the vibe. Sitting in the sun. She is so chilled out. I know my glasses are falling, but yeah. So we're just gonna sit out here in the sun for a little bit because it does feel like fall today. Delilah is here with us. I will turn the camera, but look at that face. She's like, it's too bright. I know. And there's Delilah. She has her wishbone. It's not a real bone before people like freak out. It's a toy. But yeah, we're just chilling. Everybody, it's the young man Scotch, I think. I met him 11 years ago, and he came home. Listen to the curves. October day 9. I slept for 10 hours last night. I went to bed before midnight, which is extremely rare for me. So, I mean, shout out to me. But we're going to do our mystical morning now. Again, we're doing like the 3 card thing. I am going to, how I choose the cards, do it a little bit differently. I'm not going to lay them out to like shuffle them or whatever. I'm going to just pull 3 out of this deck, and whatever feels right, you know. So the first card is our feelings. Let me actually get my little notes. So my dream last night, it was another one of those like rebirth kind of dreams that I had like last week, and then I had one that was like a sci-fi action movie kind of thing that I don't even know what I would look up. It was like I was watching an action movie, kind of like Terminator vibes, and a lot of other like own things, you know. It was just a crazy wild time. So this is gonna be the first card that I draw for feeling. Then our second card, I don't remember which way it goes. Okay, the second card is today's health. So I am wanting to know with this card what the health outlook is looking like today, but obviously I don't use this for medical reasons or anything like that. This is just for fun. Yeah, but you know, sometimes you have to tell people that kind of thing. So here's card 2 and card 3. We're wanting to know what my thoughts will be like today. You don't have to do the spinny thing that I did. I was just, again, I'm having fun. That is all that we want in life, right? Not necessarily, but I think we want to have fun in everything we do, right? Okay, this will be our 3 card there. 3 card. We're not talking about Dale Earnhardt. I mean, we could be, you never know. So our first card, as I said, is going to be feelings. And let's see what we have here. We have one in the reverse, and this is the 7 of Visions. Again, this week I have just been getting cards that I've never got before. I don't know what that means, but again, we're doing like a new system, and maybe that is what's drawing these cards to us. But as I said, this is the 7 of Visions, so the 7 of Cups. So we see this like circle that it is some kind of water, a watering hole. And we have a boar, a harp, a flower, a girl, a house, and a crown. We're seeing all of that. So let's see what the 7 of Visions or the 7 of Cups means. As I keep saying, this is a card that I've never drawn before. So what does it mean? It means alignment, personal values, and overwhelmed by personal choices. Oh, let me tell you, I get overwhelmed by choices a lot. It can just be really overwhelming. So I have to find systems for myself on how to do things, which can kind of fall into OCD. Yeah, so alignment, personal values, and overwhelmed by personal choices are what my feelings are gonna feel like today. But alignment, we do like to see that. We like to know that my feelings are gonna be, you know, aligned. And that's, you know, we always want balance. You know, personal values, yeah, we all have our different kind of values, but personal choices, overwhelmed by that, by the choices that I'm making. They are going to overwhelm me. That's fun. Now let's look at the card that is talking about our health for the day, and it is the Hermit. I always think this card is so cute, so maybe we need to keep to ourselves today. But it's just this little badger. He's in his den. I don't know what it's called where badgers live, but look how cozy and cute that card is. Now, what does this card mean? It's soul searching, introspection, being alone, and inner guidance. So I think it just means trust your gut. Just trusting yourself. And that maybe I do need to have that alone time. And think about introspection, you know, think about everything that you're going through. So let's go to our last card, which is our thoughts. What are our thoughts going to be like today? And it is the Four of Boons, which is the Four of Pentacles reverse. And we have the marketplace kind of scene with the, are they trolls? I don't know what they are, but the one that is taking away that pie, and it's like, is she stealing? Did she buy it? Because they don't look too... So what the Four of Boons means is saving money, security, conservation, scarcity, and control. And Thursday is the day that I do my eBay hunting, where I will buy one thing on eBay. So we will be saving money today, and we just need to keep on that trend of where I've kind of pushed aside fast fashion, where I am mainly just thrifting my clothes nowadays. And I think this is confirming, like, yeah, that's the way you need to keep going. So those are the cards that I drew today. I got to over 75% in here. I read the story Garth by Kate Brody, who, that name sounds so familiar, but I looked her up and I haven't read any of her stuff before, so I don't know why she sounds familiar, but this story was literally insane. Like, it starts out, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know people like this who are like obsessive, comparing themselves to others. I mean, I used to be really bad about comparing myself to others when I was like in my late teens. Mind you, this is a character who's married and has a child, you know, so who's probably in her 30s. But yeah, there are people like that, and it is sad. I don't know how you fix that, but then just as the story progresses and you get an understanding of who is actually like really in the wrong in this situation and everything. Insane. Like these people, Michelle and Jenny, they are braver than me. I wish I could be like that in certain situations, and it is a very difficult situation if you are in like a relationship with somebody like that. It can be crazy. So that one, yeah, it was crazy. So the lighting is going to be kind of crazy right now. This is the time of day it is. But I finished the Reformatory, so we are going to go through Cop House. So I did like this book. We're just gonna have to find out where it's gonna land on the spectrum, because even right now sitting here, I don't know what this book is going to be rated. With the characters, actually, let me just start out with our characters. This is where I'm having a really hard time, where I do not know what to rate them, because I think they were incredibly well written. We're seeing these children who are kind of left on their own because their mother has passed away and their father had to go on the run. They have, you know, they're on their own. And they're losing whatever, in a sense, a child could have in this time and place, because they are Black there in the Jim Crow era South, and they are being rudely awakened to what the world at this time is really like for Black people. We are seeing this in all different kinds of ways, because we have Robbie, or Robert, who is our main character, and he's unjustly sent to this school. And again, 12-year-old boy. He's unjustly sent to, again, school in quotes, because there's a lot of practically slave labor, I would say, where they're working in fields, they're having to do all sorts of things that children should not be having to do. And he is sent there, and again, unjustly, for something that was just a little like squabble, is that the word, of young people. And it just so happened the guy it was against, you know, his family is white. They basically run the town. So we have Robbie, who gets sent away and is this, you know, as I said, thrust into labor, abuse, just all this stuff that he had never known before. Then we have Gloria, who is his older sister, so she's already had a lot put on her shoulders because she has to look out for her younger brother because, as I said, the parents aren't there, so she has a lot of responsibility, and the worst possible thing, you know, that could happen happens. Her brother gets sent away while he's in her care, and she's realizing that sure, there's lawyers, there's all this stuff, but it wasn't, the system wasn't made for somebody like her who is a young black woman and is still a teenager, you know? The system wasn't made for somebody like her, and she's coming to realize that. And yeah, it's awful. And I did feel for these characters when they're put in these awful situations where I am scared for them. I am emotional for them. That ending had me very emotional. But they weren't my favorite characters that I've ever read, but I just do think they were so incredibly done. So I'm going to give the character work a 4 with the atmosphere. Hit my funny bone. with the atmosphere, not my atmosphere, with the atmosphere, I do think it was really good. I think it was really immersive, and it does feel like a horror book. It is a horror book, but it definitely feels like something bad could happen at any minute. And just, it really evokes all of your senses. The author did really good with that. So the atmosphere, we're going to give a 4 because I don't think it became a character in itself, and that's typically when I give an atmosphere a 5. But the writing is something that I did struggle with. I don't think the writing in itself is bad. I think this is a well-written book, but it was too long. And I mean, it took me over a week to read it. Like, it took me way longer than expected to read this. And I was just really struggling getting through this book. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it felt so long for me, but I did just really have that struggle. So I meant to have the book back here. But with the writing, I think we're going to give it a 3 in that regard. Because I just, yeah, I struggled with it. Now the plot. The plot in itself, yeah, the plot is really good. As I said, we're seeing a horror book, but to me the horror isn't the ghost and all of that. The horror is this era in American history of the humans are the real monsters here. The laws of the land, the system that we're in, or that they're in at this time period, is what is so scary. And like, I do think we had some creepiness with our ghosts and haunts and that kind of thing, but it was, you know, the system, and seeing youth being incarcerated, and again, with no trial whatsoever, that was just fine back then. Like, you know, that happened, and that's just the way that it was, and that's just not right, you know? So the plot, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. And then with the intrigue, I truly had no idea where this book was going to go, but also, as I told y'all, I did get bored at times where I felt like it was just going on for too long. So I think that would be a 4 as well, because if we didn't have that where it felt too long, it would be a 5. But since I was getting bored at certain moments, that's why we're gonna give it a 4. Logic, I always kind of struggle with. I'm like, what do we give this? But I do think everything made sense. But there were some points where I would get kind of confused, so we're gonna give that a 4. And enjoyment while I was reading it, I would say I liked it. It's not a new favorite book. We're gonna give that a 3. And now we're gonna do some math. And y'all know I struggle with the math sometimes, so I'm gonna really pay attention and then come back and tell y'all. Okay, we have 26, and we're going to divide that by 7. And this is getting a 3.71, so a 3.75. So yeah, I would recommend this book. Again, it's not my favorite book that I've ever read, but I do think it was a good book. And that's going to be the vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it all the way through, leave a ghost emoji in the comments below. I wish I knew the lighting would have been better if I leaned over like this. Not good for the posture, but good for the lighting. But yeah, as always, oh yeah. I totally forgot where I was, but okay. If you made it through this whole video, leave a ghost emoji in the comments below. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!